So I have these headphones that I got from Target a while back. And I've been trying to make them work for the longest time. I have two pair. One pair is great, but this pair is made for like, I don't know, child size heads or something. So I've been dealing with this issue for a long time. Every time I put it on, it cracks and I have to put it back together. And then this morning it just totally I had to put tape on it. Now I'm running and this is what I'm using. I don't think so. All right, I'm heading into Target. We're gonna see if we can take these headphones back. All right, so they didn't have any more of those. So, and because I don't know where that receipt is, they gave me a gift card. So that was like $85 because I think it was originally $79. I did find the little thing. Well, anyway, we found it. So I returned something else and that was just credited back to my card. But yes, and they didn't have any headphones for me to replace it with. So I'm down to one pair of wireless headphones, and I usually try to have one for the house and one for the gym because a lot of times I'll forget it when I'm going to the gym. But now I'm down to one pair, so I'm gonna have to remember to charge those so that they're ready to go. And they're not really like large over the ear headphones, so that's why I didn't really like those as much. But oh well, do what you gotta do. Let's talk about this whole, when we get in these positions where we're frustrated because something is going on. Sometimes we don't know how to handle it. But I recently had the opportunity to see and experience this whole sort of, I don't know if it was truly a Karen moment, but that was the first thing I thought of when she went outside the store and started screaming. I was in a store that has a manager. This manager is a person of color. He has owned this store for, oh my gosh, since I first became an attorney. So he's had it, I guess, for going on 20 years. Great man, family guy. And I say family guy because there were instances where he'd be working, his wife would be in there helping out, and their young child would be in there. That was my take on that, okay? He always greeted me, greeted other people, in a nice, friendly sort of way, with respect, just everything you would expect from a professional. Recently, I've started going back in there more. I hadn't in the last few years, but I've been back in there more. I was off to the side doing my paperwork because I had paperwork that I needed to take care of. A woman comes in and I sort of heard her when she was over there talking to him. She said that she was a notary, but she didn't have her ID on her, but she needed to get something notarized and she couldn't remember all the ins and outs about everything. And so it just sort of struck me as kind of funny because she said she was a notary. So first thing first, let's just sort of revisit what that is for people who don't know. And I think that look on my face pretty much sums up what I'm thinking. Let's head on over to the North Carolina Secretary of State's office, which gives you all of this information about becoming a notary, what the process is, what you got to do. Then it actually has this frequently asked questions section. We're going to get to the most important point that is on this page, and that is, what happens if a notary violates the law? It says, we will investigate. The notary will have a chance to present his or her side. If we find that the notary violated the law, well, let's see what that says. They can send the notary back to class, warn the notary, restrict the notary's commission, suspend the notary's commission, revoke the notary's commission, and prosecute the notary for a misdemeanor or felony. And some crimes committed by notaries may also violate other laws. So you guys, there's a lot to lose here. So let's head over to notarize.com. A notary public is tasked with verifying the authenticity of your most important transactions. Their consent is often the final step needed for lots of important legal documents. And what does the notary public do? A notary public is a public official appointed by a state government to help deter fraud. Notary publics witness the signing of important documents and verify the identity. Did you catch that? The identity of the signers, their willingness to sign the documents, and their awareness of the contents of the document or transaction. Now that you're up to speed with that, you know what a notary is, right? It is this person who, the essence of the notary's function is to verify someone's identity. Like, that is what it is for, okay? That's your main responsibility. So she comes in, she needs to get something notarized, but she does not have her ID. Yet she expects for this manager to overlook that. And she starts to get upset. And she goes, well, I have my notary seal out in the car. Well, people, a notary seal is not identification, okay? There's no picture on it or anything like that. It's like one of those, I don't even have mine anymore. I wish I did. I would show it to you. You've seen them. Sometimes they're circular and they have like your name and when your commission expires and what state and what county you're, that is all it does. There's no real identification on it. So she now wants to use her notary seal to verify her ID. So first of all, like when you're a notary, you know that that's the function for you, right? Verification of identity. And yet, number two, you think you're going to use a seal that doesn't have any sort of picture or in some instances, not even your name on it as verification. So it just didn't even make sense. When he told her that he could not notarize her document, there was all this like hoopla and stuff going on off to the side. And I was just like, oh my God, what is going on? She literally walks out of the store and I go back to my paperwork and I hear her screaming and I'm just like, what in the world? What is going on? Like me, the manager, and this other guy were just like, did she just start screaming because you told her no, you could not notarize her signature because she didn't have any ID? I think it caught us all off guard. It caught him really off guard. So he proceeds to tell me what she was telling him. And he said, because I caught part of it, but, she said that her mom was in the hospital down the street. I'm getting choked up. See, just talking about it. To expect him to just notarize something without identification was just like the biggest no-no ever. I can't believe she ever even considered making that ask. There have been instances where husbands have gotten girlfriends to pretend to be the wife in order to sign all of the property over to the husband. I heard of that one. And that could go that way. I'm not trying to put guys down. I'm just telling you that is one particular instance I have heard of. So yes, the manager said he was not going to be able to do that. If she wanted to come back with ID, he would certainly notarize her document. Well, she got a little hot under the collar, although I don't think she had on a collar now that I think back to it. But so she then says, well, I've got my seal in the car. I'll go get my seal. Now, what did I just say? Seal doesn't have like any identification on it. And he told her that wasn't going to work. She comes back in and she's like all pissed. She is like so upset. They're like, she's just really going at him. That's when she walks out and she does the screaming thing outside the store. we didn't really even know what to say. We were kind of looking at each other like, did she just do that? She just got mad because she didn't get what she wanted. And what she wanted was wrong. She really wanted him to do something wrong, okay? Let's make sure we understand that. She was asking him to do something that could seriously get him into a lot of trouble. She was willing to put his business, his freedom, possibly, if she was pulling him into some sort of scam, at risk because she didn't want to go get her ID, because she didn't want to be inconvenienced. I tell you, the expectations that we have sometimes of other people, like we're willing to put them at risk because we don't have our own stuff together, like totally wrong. Now, I get it. Now, the distinction I want to make here is us running into these sorts of issues all the time and being frustrated, right? I totally get frustrated. And sometimes we just need to scream and let it all out. I get it. But it's different when you sort of take responsibility for it. That's not what she was doing. She was trying to get him to do something different. She was trying to get him to change his standards because she wanted something done for her. It'd be different if, she had done what she was supposed to do. So in Target this morning, that whole headphones thing, when I first got it, I loved the headphones. That was the thing about it. I actually loved them, but they were tiny. So about a week after I got them, I went to put them on and they just cracked at the top because they weren't really adjustable for you to get them on your head, and they cracked. Okay. So this morning I was trying to get them back on without cracking, because they always crack back and I have to put it back together. I put it back together, but I was trying to adjust it and the whole piece over here just fell apart. So I had to tape it together and go get my run. Okay. And I was like, I'm done with this. I'm taking it back. Should have taken it back the week when it first cracked. But I didn't feel like looking for my receipt. Okay. You heard me right. I said, I didn't want to be inconvenienced, right? I didn't want to spend time looking for the receipt. Didn't know where it was. I'm sure it's around here somewhere, but I do not have time for that. Didn't want to do it. Of course, I go into Target, I don't have my receipt. Now, do I expect them to go away from their policy to be able to convenience me because I want maybe money that goes back into my account? And it was not a small sum, it's $85. I'd like to have that back. And of course, I know going in that I don't have my receipt and they're going to want to give me a Target card. I can take the card or I can sit there and pitch a fit, right? But I'm not going to pitch a fit, right? I'm going to be like, okay, I have to accept the fact that I didn't want to take the time to find the receipt and I need to go with their policy. Although, I probably could have said, hey, da-da-da-da-da-da, and tried to get them to just give me my money back. But the thing about it is I'm in Target all the time. So I'm probably going to use the, what do you call it? What does the card call it? Debit, whatever. I don't know. Whatever the card is, they put your money back on. Their card. What do you call the card? I cannot remember. A gift card? Whatever it is. Okay, I have a Target one of those now with $85 and some change on it. Did I pitch a fit? No. Okay. Because I didn't bother to take the time to find my receipt, just like she didn't take the time to get her license. Now, I can imagine that she may have been under a lot of stress if her mother was actually in the hospital or whatever else had gone on. But hey, that is the way it works. The owner gets to make the rules and you can choose to follow them or not. Frustration like that is really not going to get us anywhere. On this channel, you hear me talk a lot about mental health and physical health, and being able to walk into a situation like that and recognizing it for what it is, okay? Because in the grand scheme of things, this is what I need you to remember. In the grand scheme of things, how important is it for us to be that upset in that moment in time? I need to reserve my energy for other things, number one. And number two, I'm trying to decrease the negativity in my life. So I'm not going to be blowing up about stuff like that doesn't matter. Now, I don't know what her situation was. Not completely, right? I sure don't. But I do know that it was simply wrong of her to ask him to violate what he was required to do under North Carolina law in order to convenience her. Like, that was the wrong thing for her to do, and I'm glad he didn't do it. So in the end, he asked me when I came up, he was like, I did the right thing, right? You're an attorney. I did the right thing. And I was like, yes, you did do the right thing. You did do the right thing, and you should not have signed it. He shouldn't even have felt like he needed to confirm that with me. You know, like, she put him in a space that made him question whether or not he was even doing the right thing, even though he knew deep down he was doing the right thing. And I'm glad dude did the right thing. That's it. That's my story. You guys should have heard that scream, though. I mean, never in my life would I have expected that. But yeah, be safe, be cool, go with that positive energy. And in the grand scheme of things, if it really, really, really is not truly something that is going to devastate your life, try to take the high road, okay? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace. Light it up, light it up.